Is he on? Yeah, he's on there. He ain't even half bad. Well, River Rats had a frosty morning of bait catching that didn't go so hot, but I do have a boat full of junk and a little chunk of time out on the river to figure a few things out before an upcoming tournament. So let's take us a little boat ride and try to get after them. Well, I wasn't planning on fishing until I got camp set up, but I drove by this and I like the looks of this a lot, so I'm gonna fish it for a minute. Maybe, if I can get set up right. Not even like ready. I don't have any rods rigged, but no better time than now. Well, there might be a better time than now. Yeah, we'll give this a rip real fast. Yeah, I don't have wonderful bait, or at least a wonderful amount of bait. We're gonna do the best we can with what we got. I mean, what else can you do? Yeah, you can have every wonderful piece of mechanical equipment that exists on this planet, but if you don't have good bait, you don't have much, at least in the catfishing world. I would still argue that location is more important than bait. Man, is it tough to get too excited, even on good water, if you don't have what you feel confident in. Pretty good hole right there. Hopefully there's a big dog living in it, or a little dog, because I can go for some fresh catfish dinner later this evening. But since I don't have much bait, I did bring some crawlers. So I'm gonna throw them out. Hopefully I'll get a carp or a drum or something like that. Well, I think shad is king, especially in colder water. The old Gasper goo will catch them. Didn't mark anything in here because I didn't scan it. I didn't look good. I didn't want to drive over anything if there was anything here. So we're just going to toss them out and see what happens. The water is dropping and it's been very cold. I got time to fish and I'm excited to fish. Excited to soak some crawlers. Crawlers are fun. We have a nibble. Dinner cat. Is he still there? I don't know what I knocked over. Oh, my phone fell over. He dropped it. I don't think he was very big. But it was some live action. Exciting. All right, nothing too serious. Back on the road. Well, the hunt for a good camping spot continues. I did find a spot that looks good to fish, so I'm gonna fish it. I had some motor problems on the way up here. Started sputtering and beeping at me. Not great, but we are moving, so I'm gonna keep moving. And I'm upriver of the boat ramp, so worst case scenario, I'll float down and use a trolling motor to help me along. Hopefully it doesn't come to that though. Gotta love boats. I gotta let you go. Yep, I'll call you back. Bye. All right, I think we have dinner. Not big. I was actually talking to the guy doing my taxes. Important things, you know. Is this a chan? Kind of looks channel ratty. A little blue, dinner blue. No skunk though. Gosh, he's skinny. Been a minute since I've seen a blue that sad looking. Yeah, I was adulting and such, and we got dinner right here. Makes me happy that I don't know. I think this third spot and put a fish in the boat. Still don't have a good place to camp, but I'm not gonna starve. So yeah, I'm gonna get him in the cooler and hopefully get my taxes wrapped up. It's getting to the point of irresponsibility as far as setting up camp and whatnot. If I was smart, I would go find a place. But this looks too juicy not to throw bait in it when I'm sitting right next to it. So I guess I'm gonna put a bait in it. So far we got one for the double hook rig. And that's it though, so no pattern. It's funny how some days they get tuned into that, some days they get tuned into the rattle, and some days they don't seem to care. And then also you got to keep in mind, like, maybe it was just where you casted it. That's always a possibility. Maybe you have no idea what's going on. Also a possibility. I've consistently had little idea of what was going on the majority of my life, so you can't factor that out. Ooh, I like where that one's at a lot. Big hole. Honestly, tickled we caught anything. Like, the weather and water conditions are trash. Water's dropping rapidly. I guess the weather isn't terrible. At least not today. It's been pretty terrible, so they gotta eat sometime, I reckon. Hopefully a big one wants to eat today. Is he on? Yeah, he's on there. He ain't even half bad. Hopefully he stays hooked. Kind of pulled it down like a weenie, but it's pretty cold. So I'll give him that. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be he's swirling. Hey. I'm glad I got a nibble. Not a bad nibble. He seems to be hooked all right, so I'll just swing him. Tell you what, this fella's lucky there's one in the cooler already. He's a little big deep, but not terribly big. We are catching. Oh, bless you. It is crazy. You get some decent bait and a little time to fish, and cats start coming in the boat. He burped and it smells gross. So I'm gonna put him back. The color though, the other one was dark and this one's practically, it's like someone erased all the color off of them. It's kind of, I don't know, it's the little things that strike me sometimes. We got about 5 more minutes here. Then I seriously need to start looking for some place to camp. All right, one more spot, I swear, before I set up camp. I might even set up camp here. It's not very flat though. There's fish in here. Quite a few fish in here. Nowhere to really set up camp. We can fish it. Honestly, this looks pretty legit.
If you have any questions or any problems, if you take it to a dealer and you have a problem, you call me when you're at the dealers too, bud. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, man,
That's what I'm here for.
that's super generous. Let me catch this. Let me catch this fish real quick, and I'll stay in touch.
All right.
Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, bye. Man, what a guy. Got a local garage mechanic. My boat's been giving me some problems, and he's super helpful. Let's see if this fish is on here. Yep, he is. He's not as big as I dreamed he would be, but he's as big as I assumed he would be. The Chan. I don't know if that's what's gonna keep me in this spot. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to keep him on the hook. Come here. Well, we got him in the boat. Well, we've caught fish today. Nothing gigantic. But I can't complain too much. Like I said, I don't think this is the fish that's going to keep me here. So we're going to go look around for another spot. Yeah, my boat motor's hasn't been peeing that great. It's been peeing a little bit. Then it's beeping at me and sputtering at me, so I'm sure something's all gunked up from mud and muck and vegetation and whatnot. So yeah, bust out another 1,000, as they say. Oh, she's nice and squishy, and it looks like we are not the first ones to fish here. Not totally surprised, because this stretch gets pounded from my understanding. Never been here before, so that's all hearsay. But I haven't seen anything to make me think otherwise. Should I set up camp first or cook first? Most of my life's been dictated based off of what my stomach says. My stomach says we should cook first. Well, we are on a mud pit, officially. But that cat's clean, so that's good. And we got baits in the water, so we could definitely catch something. And there's no wind, so it's gonna be, I don't know, it's pretty darn nice. Plenty of wood back there to start a fire, and looks like somebody actually already started quite the fire. That's new. We'll see how this one plays out. Nice thing is we can bail in short order if we have to. But regardless, I'm gonna cook some cats in the meantime. Got that blue cat filleted. Got some Frank's. Frank's is wonderful because it seasons and give you your breading something to bind to. If you're like, how long should you let it sit? I don't know. Sometimes I let it sit 5 minutes. Sometimes I let it sit an hour. Usually it's closer to 5 minutes than an hour though. So I'd say experiment and decide what you like the best. Usually when I'm eating this type of stuff, I'm so hungry I don't really care that much. Okay. Okay, that guy sit there. All right, we need that oil. We need that fire too. Okay, locked in. Ooh, I can hear it. That oil is pretty thick, probably because it's like 36 degrees or something like that. It's amazing what the difference it makes with, I mean, there's no wind. It's kind of awesome. See, I got that set up. Okay, that's there. Need tongs. Got tongs. Need paper towels. Got paper towels. That one's kind of dirty. So we'll get a different one, I reckon. My favorite breadings for the Franks are always like cornmeal based. This one's the Whisker Seeker breading, but yeah, any cornmeal based breading is going to be pretty darn awesome. It's going to give you that nice crunch if you get the oil hot. That's That's kind of like the name of the game. Get that oil as hot as you can without it spontaneously combusting, of course, and that's what leads to the ultimate crispy fish nugs. I don't know how to do very many things, but cooking fish nugs, I feel pretty confident on that one. Do I have any bites? Negative. When it's cold weather like this, I don't do very good at night. Middle of the day, usually the best bite for me. But there's always exceptions, and sometimes the exceptions are really big. Okay, how we doing? Get these nice and coated. We got a lot of smoke going down. Oh, she is so ready. Yep. I cut them a little bit bigger out of convenience sake because I didn't have a cutting board. I think they'll be just fine. I think we're going to turn that oil down a little bit. Those aren't going to suck, everybody. Those are about as golden crispy as you get. They might be beyond golden, but they are going to be good and crunchy and good, and we're going to get that next round in there super fast. I think we're going to have 3 quick rounds here, everybody. Oh, that's steaming up nice. I feel like that smoke's dying off over there, so it makes me feel a little bit better about camping here, which is, that's not so bad. As far as pre-fishing for a tournament goes, I feel like camping's about the perfect way of going about it. I'm trying to only fish focus during the day because that's when the tournament's going to be. But it's super convenient just to be right here on the water, We're pretty freaking good. Like they're cooked, but not like that overcooked. Crunchy on the outside, tender in the middle. Blue cat's tough to beat. I feel like blue cat's one of the more underappreciated freshwater fish you could eat. I'm a fan. All right, last round. Yeah, maybe the last round. 1, 2. Got 2 more pieces. We're gonna work them in. Yep, got her. Keep hoping to look back and seeing her rod folded over. Should have flipped the bait clickers on them if I was smart, but not very smart. I said I could fry a fish, and I'm totally butchering these. That's what happens when you run your mouth. At least that's what happens to me. But you know what? I'm cooking for myself. When you're cooking for yourself, you only have to please one person, and thankfully the person I got to please doesn't have very high standards when it comes to food. So that's pretty beneficial. And I think that one's done. That one's definitely done. It is a mucky mess over here, but things are a lot more tolerant when you have a wonderful dinner to enjoy. Well, I'm gonna finish these, and I'm gonna make me a campfire. Get camp set up. Maybe in that order, maybe not. Ooh, what a hot piece. Well, I was gonna get camp set up, and then I decided that I wanted to get my heater turned on. Well, I got plenty of tinder. Get our fire starters going. I like the Bigfoot Bushcraft fire starters because they're compact and they work. It's kind of an important part of fire starters. If they don't start fires, they're kind of worthless. So yeah, I just light them and throw some dead leaves on top and a few sticks, and should be enough to get her rolling. It's gonna be cold but peaceful. Honestly, I bet it's pretty darn nice once I get this fire going. All right, I'm going to get camp set up and get some hopefully high quality sleep. Pretty laid back video, no giant fish, but it was a good time, and hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. So I've had a pretty darn good day, all things considered. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Hope you catch a giant.